Most businesses don't fail because the idea is bad. They fail because they're solving the wrong problem. If you're not solving a meaningful pain point or challenge for your ideal customer, it doesn't matter how beautiful your branding is, how clever your marketing is, or how passionate you are, because you're going to end up spinning your wheels, burning cash, and wondering why no one's buying. I've seen this happen to so many founders. They come up with a genius idea, pour so much blood, sweat, and tears into it, and then when it launched, there's crickets. Why? Because they either solved a problem that doesn't exist, or it's just not a big enough problem for people to look for a solution to fix it. In my humble opinion, your business is in business for one reason only, and that is to solve a problem, a pain point, or a challenge for your ideal customer. Nowadays, there's so many businesses out there, and so if you aren't adding value to your ideal customer, you are going to be wasting you and your ideal customer's time. And you can't just be solving any problem, it needs to be the right one. So in other words, if your product or service isn't solving a problem or a pain point, it means it's not offering real value, and then your business is not going to survive. So like I mentioned, it's not enough just to solve any problem or a problem, but you have to solve the right problem. The one that matters, want your solution, and a problem that is big enough for it to be a viable and profitable business model for you. That's why I have dedicated this entire first lesson to this topic of solving a problem, but not only that, solving the right problem. I know this isn't the fun, creative part of entrepreneurship that everyone dreams about, but this is such an imperative first foundational step. If you don't get this right, it's going to be such an uphill battle when it comes to your product strategy, your marketing, your sales, and everything and anything in between. Trust me, make sure you take this time to make sure you are solving a problem, but not only that, the right problem. When I first started my business, a sustainable fashion consultancy, I was deeply passionate about leveraging my skill sets and expertise towards combating fast fashion. But here's the hard truth. Just having skill sets and expertise as well as passion doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a viable business. While I had an idea and a concept I deeply cared about and I was extremely passionate about it, I hadn't validated whether or not there was a big enough market for it, or if the people that needed my help could actually pay me what it would be worth to also make it profitable and sustainable in the long run. I did some things right. I started testing services. My first few clients, I was able to secure them by doing free beta tests. I reached out to local sustainable fashion brands in Vancouver, and I remember I was so nervous, but I really didn't need to be because no one's going to turn down free work. But I pitched them to work with me for free, and I was able to get them results, able to really deliver impact to their bottom line. It was great. Once I finished those beta tests, all of them wanted to work with me again because there were signs that I was able to help those brands and those brands wanted to work with me. They also referred me to their friends. I just automatically took that as a sign of there is an opportunity here. There's a problem I'm solving. These amazing creative entrepreneurs don't have a lot of business background, which I have, so I'm going to give it to them in exchange for monetary services. So there was a bit of a model there, but my rookie mistake was not taking a pause and ensuring that the problem was quote unquote big enough, and also there would be a big enough market to be able to sustain the revenue and profit goals that I had in mind. With all of that being said, here is the lesson I took away from all of that so I can save you some time and heartache. As I've already mentioned in this video, it's not enough just to solve a problem, but you need to solve the right problem. And solving the right problem is so nuanced. You want to make sure that this is something that people feel is painful enough that they would be willing to throw money at the problem. But not only that, your product or service or whatever your solution is going to be for this problem, you are able to charge a price point that gives you enough profit to be able to make a self-sustaining business. You want to make sure the market is big enough, because if you don't do this foundational work to ensure all of these things are in place, like I mentioned, your business is going to feel like an uphill battle. So for me, I knew I had the chops. I knew I was putting in the right strategies when it came to marketing, sales, product, like all the things, but I still felt like it was such an uphill battle, quite frankly, because the sustainable fashion market back then just wasn't as big as it is now. I wish I had just sat down and thought through, is the market big enough? Is the problem severe enough for people to actually be like, you know what, I need to pay someone to help me figure this out? And so my message to you is, if you're starting a business because you are personally facing a problem, or maybe one of your friends and family members has a problem they're facing and you feel like other people would face it too, Make sure you validate it. You can even use AI to just be like, hey, I want to do a business to solve this thing. What do you think the market size is? Who do you think the target demographic is? But to help you figure out what problem you're solving and to ensure it's the right problem so that the fundamentals of your business is solid and in place, I have created a Notion workbook for you. I am incredibly proud of it, and it is going to accompany you for every single lesson throughout this GTM Essentials course. You can click the link down below, do all the exercises related to this lesson before you move on to the next video so that we are ensuring that you're building a self-sustaining and sustainable business.